Stupid, annoying beeping sound. Now I know it's not stupid. I know it's there to save your life, but you gotta admit, it is annoying. Julian Gonzalez here with my latest edition of IWIHKT, or as you might know it, I wish I had known that. Well, it goes without saying that we're going through some very, very tough times right now, but I believe there's two things to keep in mind. Number one, and more importantly, stay positive because we are going to get through this thing. And number two is be productive. If we're self-isolated at home 24/7, not doing much, maybe working on your computer and you're tired of that, do things around your house because after all, it is spring. That's right, you might have missed it with this whole pandemic thing. Spring started last week. So do a little spring cleaning, fix things, paint things. You know, things that you had left months ago and you said to yourself, I'm gonna save it for another day, do it right now. Maybe also donate things. You know, there's a lot of people in need right now, losing their jobs, that maybe something in your house that you really don't care about might be something very appreciated by somebody else. Another thing to keep in mind is replace things. How about the batteries of these two devices, your smoke alarm and your carbon monoxide detector? Now, I recently met a really cool dude with a really cool name, Dupree. Now, Dupree's a professional in home security, keeping things safe inside your house. And he said to me, Julian, you'd be surprised how many people believe that just by changing the batteries of these two devices, they're safe. Their family's safe, their animals are safe, their house is safe, everything's good. He says, oh no, keep in mind there's something also very important in regards to these two devices that might not only keep you from saying, I wish I had known that, but it could also possibly save your life.
Fire extinguishers, smoke detectors, and CO detectors, do they expire and go bad? And the answer to that is yes. So for an example, right here we have a smoke detector. On the back side it does have an expiration date. We do recommend that you change that out every 10 years. Also the battery, we want you to change it out every year just to get the high performance of it. One of the things that when you do buy a house, a lot of people think it's still good just because it's up on the wall or on your ceiling. One of the things you want to check is the date and actually check the battery too. You want to replace it just in case, because you might think it's working because it's beeping, but it might not actually be at its most functional peaks. I see this about 60 to 70% of the time. It just is crazy. Next, we're gonna have the CO detector. On the back side, it does show the expiration date, and you're gonna wanna change these out every 5 years. Also to change the battery out every year, just to get its high performance. One other thing I wanna go over, fire extinguishers. They do have a date on the back, so 2016. Sometimes they're at the bottom, just make sure you check on that. And you do wanna change these out or get them maintenance every 12 years. Also pay attention to the needle. If it's in the red, you're gonna wanna get it maintenance or replaced. If it's in the green, you're good to go. And then it also has instructions on how to use it.
There you go, done. Hey, Dupree, I told you, super cool dude. The guy knows his stuff. I mean, he taught me something I'll admit I didn't even know, and I like to consider myself a handyman. I had no idea that these two devices had an expiration date. I didn't even know how much they cost. I mean, I went online, you know, they sell them obviously at Home Depot, they sell them at Lowe's, and it ranges anywhere from like 15 to like 30 bucks, I believe. And there's some companies like ring.com that have a 2-pack deal. One of each, 70 bucks. I mean, that's a drop in the bucket for a peace of mind, right? Remember, check those fire extinguishers. Make sure it hasn't expired. And if it hasn't expired, it needs a little charging, take it to a fire station or take it to a company that specializes in charging extinguishers. And as Dupree told me, he says, Julian, it really isn't that expensive at all. Hey, before I let you go, something very important. Again, during these times of checking on things, why don't you check on a neighbor? You know, maybe the neighbor you don't even speak to. I mean, you don't know what people are going through. Maybe they don't talk a lot because maybe they're just shy, they're embarrassed to ask for help. Go out there, make you feel good, especially if they're elderly. I mean, a lot of them, I believe, they're just a little bit embarrassed to ask for help. Knock on the door and say, hey, is there something I could fix? Painting on stuff, something I could help you out. Check their smoke alarms and their carbon monoxide detector. Imagine how good it's gonna make you feel if you check on these two devices and theirs is expired. I mean, it's something that for yourself, you can say, I wish I had known that. It'll avoid you from saying that if something, God forbid, happens to them. It'll make them feel good. More important, it'll make you feel good. And during these troublesome times, there's nothing more important than to be positive and to feel good that you helped somebody else out. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of I Wish I Had Known That, IWIHKT. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope to see you soon, and please subscribe to my channel. More importantly, guys, again, be safe and be positive. See you next time.